Another thing about the foreclosure front that I think is interesting, and I told this analogy, we get clients all the time call us and say, you know, I want to sell my house, I got this eyesore foreclosure across the street. I want to wait. I want to wait until something happens with it. And you know, nothing's more, you know, nothing sucks more than waiting to do what you want to do, just almost feel like a prisoner, you know, and that's what some of our clients have come to us. They're like, look, I'm nervous about doing this, because they have a complete misconception about the impact that this foreclosure will have. So you know, they're concerned that having this eyesore across the street is going to hurt the sale of their property. In most instances, it's actually the exact opposite, because what we found to happen is, and again, it varies from neighborhood to neighborhood, but most people now are pretty immune to seeing foreclosures on the street. They know what they are, and they know eventually, for the long term, somebody's going to buy the property, fix it up, and the bank isn't going to own it anymore. It's not like it's going to stay a foreclosure forever. It may seem like that, because some of them sit out there forever, but we had a great success story very recently of a high-end property, $700,000 waterfront property, you know, sitting on the market. Was on the market maybe about a month, and then a foreclosure hit a couple doors down. The foreclosure was $200,000 less than our house, but it was the same floor plan, same layout, same lot. So a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh my goodness, you know, this foreclosure just undercut us, and now we're not going to be able to sell. The sellers of that property panicked as soon as that property hit the market. And I told them, I'm like, look, don't worry about it. That house needs $200,000 of work. So the option is somebody can come in there and buy it for $500 and spend $200 of their own cash, okay? Or they can buy yours turnkey at $700. Realistically, it's the same outlay of money, but buying yours allows them to finance more of it, and buying the other one requires them to come out of pocket cash for a lot of it. I was like, I actually think that this is a good thing. So what ended up happening is the foreclosure got gobs and gobs and gobs of showings. One of the people that saw the foreclosure ended up buying our listing, because they looked at the listing and they're like, oh, it got into the neighborhood. They fell in love with the neighborhood. The foreclosure is sexy. It's attractive. People listen. They hear the word foreclosure. They think great deal. And that's exactly what happened. Somebody jumped out for that foreclosure. They thought it was a great opportunity. They thought it was a great deal. And then they saw it. They're like, this thing needs so much work. But hey, look at this one right down, a couple doors down. I love this neighborhood. This one's turnkey. And then they bought our listing, and we sold it for full asking price. So don't be concerned when you have a property in your neighborhood and you're thinking about selling and a foreclosure hits. It can actually bring traffic to your neighborhood. Most people that say they want to buy a foreclosure don't buy a foreclosure. They end up buying something else, because they realize that buying the foreclosure is going to be a lot of work, a lot of money invested, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of time, energy, and effort that a regular sale doesn't have. And they don't realize that until they look at one. And so we found that in many instances that foreclosure hitting actually helps market the resale property that we have. The foreclosure, it's like the sexy buzzword. It's attractive, but it's not right for everyone.
Well, it can be a great deal, but you got to remember, those people ran out of money, so they're
Right.
not taking care of the property.
Yeah,
So
there's deferred maintenance, there's repairs, there's renovations needed. There's just a lot of issues, and there could be things down the line that you can't even see that could be wrong that they didn't take care of. And I think, again, that's not to say that you can't buy a foreclosure that an average layperson can't. It's just it's a little bit more of an advanced purchase. There are people that specialize in buying and fixing up foreclosures that do it for a living. They're construction people. So you going in as a normal buyer and competing with that person and being able to understand and know what all is wrong, you may end up stepping in a hole and finding out that you thought you got this great deal, but in reality, at the end of the day, after you spent all the money fixing it up, all you really bought was someone else's problem, and you got the same deal you'd have got if you'd have bought the turnkey one down the street.
it's called money pit.
It can be. So